This article explores how colonialists exploited the 7 aspects of culture to rule and control Africa. It also provides strategies for African societies to decolonize each aspect. Social organization. European colonialists disrupted African social structures, often employing a divide-and-rule strategy by favoring certain ethnic groups over others. This practice weakened local governance and created social and tribal divisions. Africans need to revitalize traditional leadership by empowering local leaders and community-based organizations which can restore trust and cohesion within communities. Additionally, inter-ethnic dialogue and collaboration can help heal divisions created by colonial powers, creating a more cohesive societal framework. Customs and traditions. Colonial powers sought to suppress or alter indigenous customs and traditions, replacing them with European norms, which diminished cultural identity. They branded African cultures and traditions as savage and barbaric. Africans can focus on cultural revival by reclaiming and promoting their customs, rituals, and traditional practices through festivals, art, and education. Integrating these traditions into modern life by emphasizing their relevance in contemporary contexts. Languages. Colonialists imposed European languages as the primary means of communication, marginalizing indigenous languages and dialects. To combat this, efforts need to be made to preserve indigenous ethnic languages at a family level, in schools, media, literature, and public life, ensuring that these languages are not swallowed by European languages. Being able to communicate with the wider world is important, therefore bilingual education systems that incorporate both indigenous and colonial languages can also support linguistic diversity. Arts and literature. Colonial powers dismissed African art and literature as inferior and primitive. Additionally, they stole, destroyed, and defaced most artifacts depicting African art and literature at the same time promoting European artistic form. Africans need to support indigenous artists, writers, and performers, helping to elevate local narratives and artistic expressions. Additionally, developing an African-based educational curricula that include African literature and art can enrich the educational system and foster cultural pride, allowing young generations to connect with their heritage and promote indigenous creativity. Government. Colonial administrations replaced traditional governance systems with centralized, authoritarian regimes that disregarded local authority and public opinion. To decolonize governance, Africans can advocate for the decentralization of power, empowering local communities and restoring traditional leadership roles. Implementing participatory governance systems that encourage community involvement in decision-making processes, ensuring that the voices of diverse communities are heard. Equitable distribution of national resources, fighting systemic corruption and nepotism can strengthen African democracy. Religion. Missionaries sought to convert Africans to Christianity, often undermining indigenous belief systems and practices. African spirituality was labeled demonic and efforts were made to eliminate it. In the pursuit of decolonization, promoting religious pluralism can help revitalize indigenous religions and spiritual practices, including in education. Additionally, there is need to integrate valuable African cultural elements in existing religion to make them relevant and in tune with African realities. Economic systems. Colonialists restructured African economies to prioritize cash crops, mineral and resource extraction for European profits. This undermined local economies and impoverished African people. To decolonize economic systems, Africans should stop all colonial economic activities in the continent that are exploitative. New agreements based on mutual benefits should be structured. African countries should also emphasize sustainable economic practices that focus on local food production, value addition, and self-sufficiency, restoring economic independence. Efforts should be made to cut down or completely eliminate dependency on foreign aid, foreign funding, and debts. Conclusion. Decolonization in Africa will require a comprehensive approach to reclaiming cultural identity and agency across various aspects of society. This will only happen when African countries unite against a common enemy, speak with one voice, create common foreign policy, and refuse to be divided by the cunning forces of imperialism.